Hi everyone, and welcome to my video series from start to stage. Well, here we are post show, and I've decided just to do a quick video for those of you that were interested in what went down yesterday, what happened yesterday, and for those that don't care, don't have to listen to me ramble on. So I just want to start, I guess, with what happened yesterday. So I got up at my normal time, which is 3 a.m. in the morning. And I thought today's not the day to change your routine. Your body knows how to do this routine, so stay with it. And because I'd gone through peak week, it had really got me to a point that I was checking every single meal at peak week, because I was like, how much am I having this meal? I had to weigh everything. Everything was just changed meal by meal by meal by meal, all the way into this day. And then I thought, okay, did I read somewhere that I'm not supposed to drink water today? And so I started to go back through all my information, and I saw I was to do just a light full body circuit in the morning. So I got up and I had my black coffee and I did that. So I did my full body workout. And then once I did my full body workout, I then went for my walk, because I thought, well, this is what my body's used to. So I went for my early morning walk, and then I got home from that, and I had prepared all my food for the day the night before. So we left at 7 a.m. in the morning, and we got up there by 8 a.m. and Rob dropped me off. So he went to a car show in Brisbane. So he dropped me off there, and I got there, and the first thing I had to do was go into tanning. So I'd got a base tan the day before. I think you might have seen the photo on Facebook, and they give you like a space suit so that you don't ruin it. So anyway, I took that with me, and you do part B. And when you get these tanning things, girls completely stark as naked. So I'm like, well, do I get like a little G-string or something to put up? No, just get completely naked. So that was a little bit confronting for me. I've never actually done that before, unless it was a doctor or something. But I just thought, oh, well, here we go. So I did. You have to stand there like this and, show it all. And they're in between your legs. And I'm like, oh, God. But anyway, so got the tan done. And then you turn around and you got to sort of lean forward. And anyway, so you get the tan done, and then you put that spacesuit thing on again. And then you go and you line up for makeup. And so you either go into makeup or hair. And there's about maybe 20 makeup artists and maybe same amount of hairdressers, because there was literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of girls there. And so we were lined up, and I got the most beautiful makeup artist. And she was 37 years old. She had 3 children, lovely girl. And who would have thought that you could spend 45 minutes doing makeup just on my eyes? 45 minutes nonstop. I just like, what can you possibly be doing for 45 minutes? So anyway, that's how much makeup goes into this. So they go for like 45 minutes and blacken my eyebrows and put on false eyelashes. And then they do all the other bits take literally 5 minutes. So I was probably 50 minutes in the chair getting makeup done. And then you line up again and you go into hair. But I had to eat in between that. So on the day you eat like simple carbohydrate, sugary type things. So I had in some fat. So I had rice cakes, fat rice cakes with red jam and peanut butter. And so I had to eat that. And so I ate that. And then I went and got my hair done. And she was a young girl, and she was from New Zealand, and she was missing her mum, and she'd been in Australia for a couple of years, and she was lovely. She lived on the Gold Coast. So she did my hair, and my hair only took about 15 or 20 minutes. So that was all good. And the story I wanted to share was when I got my makeup done, I was chat to that girl. I said to her, do you wear much makeup, or doing it all day, every day? Do you not wear much at all? And she said, no, I don't wear much makeup. She said, because she said, when I look at myself in the mirror, she said, I'm so judgmental of what I see. She said, I try to avoid looking in the mirror. And my heart girls, like this girl, beautiful. She's like 37, stunning. That beautiful skin, beautiful face, beautiful girl. And I just thought, oh, and this is women, I was just like, how many have I met, and me potentially one of them, that when we look in the mirror, we judge what we see. And it's so heartbreaking as an older woman now to hear a 37-year-old say that. And anyway, I said to her, you know what? Enough people probably bag you out behind your back. You probably don't need to bag yourself out. And she's like, well, that's true. And I said, yeah, maybe you should just look in the mirror and just be, look how beautiful you really are. But anyway, with the makeup artist, with the hairdresser, she's like, who are you here with? Like, who's your team? And I'm like, I'm here by myself. And she's like, oh, she said, I would never come to something like this by myself. I said, why not? And she said, oh, that would just be way too scary. And I said, why is that? And she goes, well, all these girls. And she said, I would just be so frightened. And it's just so fascinating. It makes you realize, doesn't it, at our age, how far we've come from being that young girl that's so worried about what everybody else thinks. And she goes, you seem so calm. She said, you seem so together. And I'm like, And I said, what do you think might happen to me? And she goes, well, I don't know. She said, but I just never come by myself. And she said, you're all alone. And I went, I am. And she was just horrified, but it sort of made me laugh because it just made me remember that, yes, we too were young once, and we probably were horrified to walk into somewhere by ourselves. And that's where she was at. So she was having her 29th birthday in a couple of weeks, and she was saying to me, now, have you been to that rooftop nightclub on the Gold Coast? And I went, I know. She's like, oh, well, that's where I'm having my birthday. And I'm like, I don't do nights. But it was just funny. She was thinking that I might go to nightclubs. So I'm like, no, I don't think so. But anyway, so she was just beautiful. And so I got my hair done, and she was like, oh, your hair's very fine, isn't it? And falling out. But anyway, so we got all that done. Then I had to eat again. And then what happens is you've got to pump your muscles up, girls, every time you eat, apparently. This is all quite new to me. So my coach, Sarah, said, so when you eat, you sort of do these light exercises with your resistance band, and hopefully the sugar goes into the muscles, pumps them up, and blah, blah, blah. And you look good. And so I'm doing my stuff. And so I did all that. And then, so that was good. And then I had time, really. So it was probably only 10:30, and I wasn't actually on till 12:30. So I had a couple of hours. So I went and actually bought myself a black coffee, and I sat and had coffee in my spacesuit, and I went and watched the show, and I went and watched some of the girls, and they just were beautiful. Do you remember being young and you do look in the mirror and you don't think you're beautiful, do you? But I look at these girls, and their skin glows, their hair just shines, their eyes are gorgeous. And I think we must have been like that. And so I was just appreciating their beauty. And on stage, they have so much spunk. They just are naturals. They just eat up the stage. There's no inwardness, shyness. It's just, they got it. They're they rock their booties and they're spinning around, and there's no shyness whatsoever. And I was just so fascinated. And then the boys came on, and the boys just seem as fun as the girls. The boys were just very, making all these funny poses and being quite comedian, I thought, which was, quite beautiful. I just thought it was just so lovely to watch them, and they'd worked so hard to get to that point, and it was like a real celebration for them on stage. And I felt like the ICN, which is I Compete Naturally, as a body, would you call them, did it very well. They had music, they kept upbeat in their emceeing, and they really kept the show going, and they kept everybody's energy levels high, which I thought was really really a great thing as well. So it was really well done. And so then it was my turn to go on stage. So hilarious. You have to go to like a backstage thing. And I had on like a dressing gown type thing. And my bikini underneath, and you have to wear a number. And the old guy that was sort of like ticking people off, he goes, I'm assuming you're in over 50s. And I said, why's that? And he goes, because you're really the only one that's covering themselves up. And he said, the young ones don't really care. He said, so I'm thinking you're one of the older ones. I'm thinking you're right. So anyway, so I had to take my dressing gown off, and I strutted my stuff. So there was only 4 of us in bikini, and it was just hilarious because I got out there and I was a little bit like a deer in headlights, which is interesting because I don't get nervous on a stage, as you girls can see. Like I'm okay with people staring at me. That's not my problem. My problem is heels, because I have this image of me falling over because I actually feel quite unsteady on heels. And B, my posing, I just don't feel like I'm naturally a sexy person. You know how you got girls that know how to swing their hips and be sexy? I'm just not sexy. And so I was really struggling with those two things about, you know, I felt wobble at one point. I was a bit wobbly and I'm like, oh. And then at another point, I was like, I wasn't pushing my hips, and you know, so it came to the realization I really need to practice that piece of the puzzle. But anyway, I came 4th out of 4, but that was cool because I've no idea really what they were looking for. And I got a trophy for that, so I was happy, and the other girls were beautiful as well, and we were all over 50. And so then you go backstage again, and it was about eating again. So it was more rice cakes, more red jam, more peanut butter. And so I was doing that, and there was chicken breast and a white potato with real butter. And so I had all of that. And then Rob turned up. So he came back from the car show, and by this time it was sort of around lunch, you know, it was probably 1:30 or something like that. And so I was meant to go on at 2:15, but they were running at least an hour late. So I didn't end up getting on 3:30. So I stayed with him for a while. We had another coffee, and then I went back down, and I had to start pumping up again because I'd eaten. So I did my push-ups and seated rows, my biceps, my shoulders, my triceps. And I sort of did 3 rounds of that because I thought I'll just keep myself amused doing that. So I did all that. And then I went back again to lining up, and the old guy was still laughing at me because I still had my dressing gown on. And because the girls are just so free, which I appreciate, like good on them, but I sort of probably am just not that free, maybe my age, I don't know. But anyway, I got down again to my sports outfit, and what I realized was, oh my goodness, I'm so much more comfortable in white joggers. So I had my white joggers on. Well, I felt like me. I felt like I'm me. I'm okay. So that felt really, really good. And so there was 10 of us in the sports model section. And sports model is what they say, girls that, so bikini girls, they're looking for girls that don't have a 6-pack, aren't overly muscular, are curvy. And when you think about it, girls, I'm probably none of those things. I'm probably too lean, probably a bit too muscular, probably a little bit too not curvy. I'm sort of a little bit straight up and down. So I can sort of understand why I didn't probably do that well in bikini. But sports model was about, well, this is a girl that's sort of not bikini, but she's not really fitness either. And fitness is that next level. You know, you've got the 6-pack and you've got the bigger muscles. And so they know what they're looking for. But I think I sat really nicely in sports model because it's like, well, I'm not probably a bikini girl. I'm probably not sexy enough for bikini girl, but I'm probably not fitness either. Like I'm not probably buff enough for fitness. So I feel like I sat in my lane with sports model, and and I felt comfortable in my white joggers, and I feel like that all came through on stage. So when I got to stage for sports model, I was happy. I felt like I wasn't going to fall over. I was even starting to strut my stuff that bit more because I felt happy. I was just like, okay, I feel like I'm in my own here. And I felt like I was in my lane. And so it was just an interesting to acknowledge that feeling. And I ended up coming 5th out of 10, but I was really happy with that. Once again, I was actually shocked that I came anywhere really, because all the women were over 50, but they all look amazing. Like, I just blows my mind that us women over the age of 50 are still maintaining our health to the point that we are. So they were fantastic. So I was grateful to be 5th and really surprised. I wouldn't have a clue really what they're looking for. So really happy with that. So got another trophy and got to stand up on the thing. And so that was all really good. I was really happy with that. And then I thought to myself, I wonder if Rob watched on the TV, because we come up on the TV screen, because he didn't come in the audience because he hadn't paid for a ticket to come in the audience. So he sat out in the main foyer, but there's a TV there. And I showed him where the TV was. And anyway, I thought, he won't have watched. And anyway, I texted him and said, okay, I'm finished. I'm on my way out. And he goes, you should have won. And I'm like, you must have watched. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, he's biased, whatever. But anyway, when I got out there, I said, oh, so you watched me? He said, well, he said, I did have a nap. He fell asleep on the chair. And he said, I opened up one eye, and he said, I looked at the TV, and he said, I saw you. And he said, I thought, oh. And I thought, oh my God, it is so typical. So he'd been to a car show. He'd been texting me, can we go home yet? And I'm like, no, I've got to do this second one. And then he's like, had a nap. And he's woke up to see me on stage, and he's like, good timing. And so he actually did get to watch it, which was really nice. Oh, girls, they make you laugh, don't they? So he drove me home, which was really nice, actually, because I wanted to share the photos with my community, because everybody had been so supportive, and my kids and my brother had been ringing. So I rang him. And then we came home and we went out to dinner with Rob's daughter and her husband. And it was her husband's birthday recently, and we hadn't gone out to celebrate. So we went to a really beautiful restaurant / cafe at Broadbeach called Koi, Koi. I really liked it. I had the buttermilk, I think it was called buttermilk calamari, and I had grilled broccolini with it, with browned almond flakes, which was really nice. And then Rob and I shared a sticky date pud for dessert, which was really lovely as well. And so that was all really lovely. And so we went out for dinner, and that was really nice. Got home. I think I was in bed by 9 o'clock, and got up this morning and back to the gym. So I was back to the gym this morning doing my leg workout, and here we are, rocking and rolling back into routine. So that was the journey yesterday for those of you that were interested in hearing anything that happened. I didn't have people there to take photos, so I was just asking people, would you mind taking a photo for my family? And so they were taking photos of me, which was really nice, and just a beautiful, beautiful group of people. You know, I just feel so lucky to be part of a community that are very healthy and fit, I guess, and show that in energy, vibrancy, companionship. Like, it's all there. So it was really lovely. So that was really nice. And I guess where I wanted to finish this today was just to share with you my learning lessons. And so I've really noticed that this morning when I was at the gym is like, so Dana, what did you learn from doing that start to stage? And, you know, what was coming up for me, I guess, was the importance of a goal. So, you know, before I did this, one of the reasons I did it was I was getting stale. And I talked to my girls about things like, you know, your body adapts, your metabolism becomes adapted. And if you don't change, nothing changes. And I sort of feel like I was not in a rut, because I absolutely love my training, but I was to the point that it was a different day, same routine as such. I wasn't really changing it up, and I wasn't really working toward anything. And so I guess having that goal and having a date really sparked me to step out of my comfort zone, I guess. So I really feel like that goal setting was an important piece to up the ante in my journey to health and fitness and wellness. And I knew from having done this 5 years before what a journey it was for my emotions and my mindset. And so I was curious around that as well. So I definitely think my learning lesson was a goal is so important with a time frame. So not just a goal of I want to be healthy and fit as I get older, but creating a goal that makes you become healthy and fit as you get older. So whether that be maybe you book in for a run or one of my programs, like something that has an end date to it, and you have achievements that you're wanting to achieve during that period of time. So I really think that that is something that I've discovered is important, not just saying it, but creating timeframes around it. The next thing that I wrote was, what I really discovered was, I thought to myself this morning, I've really got to do a thank you list, like to everybody that really supported me and helped me. And I started to think about that list, and I did it today on Instagram, and it was like, there was my coach and she put together my program. And then there was Mel that helped me learn how to pose. And then there was another girl, Nikki, that made me my beautiful bikini. And then there was ICN, I Compete Naturally, their guy that looks after that. His name's Jason. He was incredibly helpful when I was having challenges around getting makeup organized and hair makeup, and he let me make your phone calls sort of thing. I'm like, who is this guy? You know, so he was incredibly over the top helpful and made my journey very supportive. Like I didn't feel like I was alone at any time with that, which I thought was great. And then there was hair and makeup, and so the girl up there that runs that show, her name's Hannah, and she was super supportive. Like she was like ringing me, texting me, let me help you. And I also had to thank her. And then I was like, you know, there was you girls, my tribe, my community, and I've just had nothing but this beautiful outpouring of kindness, of love, of support. And it's helped me like you have no idea, because peak week being what it was for me really changed the game for me when my body reacted in a very negative way, when my blood sugars dropped. It frightened me to the point that I was seriously okay with not getting to stage, because my health is my number one priority. And I was not prepared to put that at risk to get up on stage in a bikini, no matter how much money I'd spent, how much time I'd put in. And it was really you girls that didn't make it so dramatized. Like you were quite, oh, there's a hiccup. That's okay. Good luck. You'll be right. Stay with it. Stay strong. Can't wait to see the pictures. And I'm like, oh. And so rather than me getting the victimized support, like poor you, I was getting, you know, get up, dust yourself off, get on with it. You'll be right. And so I was really amused by those comments. And if anything, they were like what pushed me into that moment of, I can do this, you know, like why stop now? And so it was really you girls that helped me really get to stage, even though you don't realize it. It's those little comments. It's that watching me. I have a commitment to show up to this every week and share with you my deep inner thoughts. And it's helped me to stay on track, because I've had this commitment toward you girls, which in turn have allowed you to give to me in a way that's really helped me to get up on stage. So I do want to thank you all for watching this journey with me. You know, I'm hoping that you got something out of it. And if not, I'm sorry, but I'm still thankful that you played along with me through this journey. And I guess where you're going to say now is what's next. And that is what I said to myself this morning, what's next? And so I was toggling around with a couple of different ideas. And then I decided, you know what, Dana, what's next is you step back, you breathe, you meditate for a few weeks, and you discover what is next for you. So I feel like that's what's next. What's next for me is to focus on my Fit, Fast and Fabulous community of women who I'm absolutely loving creating this program for and sharing in their journey. And I just know when the right thing comes up for me, it will show, and I will take that, because I feel like even though I'm in my 50s, I'm 54, that it is unlimited possibilities, whatever direction we want to be, whether that education, whether it's in regard to health and fitness, whatever the goal is, I know that there is unlimited possibilities, even though I'm in my mid-50s. And so, yeah, I'm just going to have faith that the right thing is going to show up, and I'm not making any commitment to anything until I've breathed, enjoyed this moment, had a piece of cheesecake. Girls, it's all the 80-20 rule. I keep saying it. You got to be good most of the time. You got to be naughty some of the time. And so, yeah, so I'm thinking Saturday is probably my day where I'm going to be a little bit naughty again. So all good. All right, girls. Well, thank you for listening. And I look forward to seeing you on Women's 40 Plus Online Health Club. If you're not a member, please join us and share in our journey of health, fitness and wellness as we all age. And let's go. As I keep saying, let's rock and roll. All right, girls, have a great day. Take care. Bye.